Have you ever felt like you're just waiting for permission to go after your dreams? Well, what if I told you the only thing holding you back is yourself? The world doesn't owe you a thing, but you have everything you need inside you to rise. It's time to stop waiting for a sign or someone's approval. You are the hero of your story, and your greatness is ready to be unleashed. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, we're going to unlock the secret to reclaiming your power and taking action today. There are moments in life when everything you thought you could count on suddenly vanishes. The people you loved, the dreams you chased, the stability you built, it all crumbles, leaving nothing but silence. And it's in that raw, broken space that the fire begins to burn. You might not see it right away, but it's there. Flickering beneath the tears, beneath the fear, beneath the silence. It's the flame of resilience. The kind that only comes from being torn apart. The kind that turns wounds into wisdom, scars into strength. The kind that doesn't need anyone's permission to rise. Because fire doesn't ask, it consumes. And that's what you're becoming, a force reborn through fire. You've got to understand, greatness is not born in the light. It's carved in the darkness. It's built when no one is watching, when no one is cheering, when all you have left is grit. When the pain gets so loud it drowns out everything else, that's when your inner voice has to scream back, I'm not done. You may not have all the answers, you may not even have the strength to stand, but the moment you choose to keep going, you reclaim your power. And power doesn't come from never falling. It comes from rising every single time you do. That's the secret, the rise. And the rise always starts with two simple words, I can. Those two words may sound small, but they carry the weight of empires. They break chains. They shatter limits. They silence doubt like thunder over fear. You don't need a crowd. You don't need approval. You need belief. Belief that no matter how hard it gets, there is something inside you stronger than the storm around you. You may have been brought to your knees, but you weren't brought here to stay down. You were brought here to rise, to fight, to transform. Every I can't that's ever haunted you gets buried the moment you whisper back, I can, because that is the moment the phoenix starts to burn. Your rock bottom is not a curse. It's a classroom. It's the place where false strength dies and real strength is born. It's where the ego is broken so that authenticity can rise. Every time life crushed you, it was giving you a chance to become real. You weren't meant to walk through life untouched. You were meant to carry fire in your chest, to walk through storms and come out soaked in truth. And truth is not clean. It's messy. It's brutal, but it's yours. And from that truth, from that wreckage, from that breaking point, you build the unshakable version of yourself. Let people talk. Let them leave. Let them judge what they do not understand. Because while they see you falling, they don't see what's rising within. They don't see the work being done in the silence, the healing behind closed doors, the rebuilding of a spirit no storm could kill. They may have given up on you, but you never gave up on yourself, and that matters more than anything. Because the phoenix doesn't rise when the world applauds. It rises when the world forgets. It doesn't wait for permission. It burns on its own terms. Just like you will, just like you must. Anxiety might grip your chest, but it cannot steal your soul. Fear might shake your body, but it cannot move your foundation unless you let it. And why would you? Why let a passing shadow steal your eternity? Every panic, every heartbeat that races in the night is not a sign of weakness. It's a signal that there is something in you that refuses to stay still, something that demands freedom, something that craves flight. So when anxiety whispers you can't, you look it in the face and roar back, I can. Not tomorrow, not someday, right now. There is a beast inside you, and it's been sleeping. Life will wake it up. Loss will shake it awake. Failure will scream in its face until it opens its eyes. And once it does, nothing is ever the same. Because you're not the same, you stop apologizing for your fire. You stop shrinking to make others comfortable. You stop hiding behind fear and start walking through it. You become everything the pain tried to take from you and more. You become living proof that the ashes were never the end. They were the beginning. They were the soil you needed to rise. This rise isn't meant to be graceful. It's meant to be real. It's messy. It's ugly. It's full of stumbles and screams and nights you cry yourself to sleep. But every single time you choose to keep going, you win. Every single time you whisper, "I can," through trembling lips, you win. Every breath is a battle cry. Every step is a declaration, not just to the world, but to yourself, that no matter what happens, no matter who doubts you, you will not be defined by your breaking point. You will be defined by your rebirth. And that starts now. Remember, the fire didn't come to destroy you. It came to reveal you, to expose the real you, the warrior beneath the mask, the champion beneath the pain. All the strength you've ever needed was already in you. It just needed a reason to rise. And now it has one. Because you've seen what the bottom looks like. You've felt the weight of the world. And you're still here. Still breathing. Still burning. So hold your head high, even when it shakes. Square your shoulders, even when they feel heavy. And speak the words that shatter every limit. I can. There is a moment in every journey where something shifts deep inside you. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's quiet, almost invisible, but you feel it. It's the second you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start declaring, "Watch me rise from this." That shift, that one decision, can change everything. Because pain will visit us all. Failure will knock on every door. And life will test your limits like it's trying to break you. But that shift in mindset, that refusal to stay down, that's when your real power ignites. Not in comfort, not in ease, but in the flames. We've been trained to fear pain, to run from it like it's the enemy. But what if it's the teacher? What if your pain is the very thing trying to show you how powerful you are? You see, pressure only breaks the things that weren't built to last. But you're still standing. You've been through storms that would have sunk most people, and you're still breathing, still walking, still carrying a fire inside your chest that refuses to go out. That's not weakness, that's power. Raw, real, untamed. And it was born the day life tried to silence you and you chose to speak back. There's something terrifying and beautiful about hitting your lowest point. Terrifying because it feels like the end. Beautiful because it's where your transformation begins. When you have nothing left, no excuses, no masks, no noise, that's when the truth shows up. And truth is what fuels change. Not just the kind of change that tweaks your habits, but the kind that rebuilds your soul. You don't just bounce back, you rise. Stronger, smarter, sharper, like a blade that's been forged in fire. Because pain doesn't just change you, it refines you. And that refinement, that's your rebirth. When anxiety wraps around your throat and fear whispers in your ear, you don't need to scream back. You need to stand still, grounded, and whisper something more powerful than panic. I can. That's it. 2 words. But they shift the atmosphere. They remind your body who's in charge. They remind your spirit that it's not the fear that defines you. It's your response to it. I can is not a phrase. It's a revolution, a quiet defiance, a spiritual uprising. And every time you say it, you pull yourself 1 inch closer to freedom. That's how battles are won. 1 inch. 1 breath. 1 choice at a time. You are not fragile. You are not broken. You are not too far gone. You are a force waiting to be unleashed. But that force only shows up when the world says you're done and you answer back, I'm just getting started. That's the moment your old self begins to crumble. And good, let it. Let the version of you that played small burn. Let the fear-fueled stories fall apart. Let the noise of doubt go silent, because beneath it all is the real you. The you that doesn't flinch, that doesn't quit, that doesn't wait for permission to rise. That version is dangerous. That version is unstoppable. Every setback you faced was not a stop sign. It was a signal, a challenge, a call to rise again, harder and wiser. You may think your worst days were your undoing, but they were your becoming. They exposed the cracks in your armor so you could forge new strength. They stripped away the illusions so you could see what matters. And now here you are, not with everything figured out, but with a heart that refuses to quit. And sometimes that's all you need. A pulse, a breath, a whisper that says, I can. Because even when you feel like nothing, that whisper is everything. There will be nights when you're alone with your thoughts, when the silence feels heavier than any scream. Those nights are sacred. They're the birthplace of resolve. You'll hear the echoes of doubt, the ghosts of regret, the lies fear tries to sell you, but you'll also hear something else, the steady rhythm of your will, the quiet drumbeat that says, I'm not done. That voice may be faint at first, but it grows. With every choice, with every act of courage, and eventually, it drowns out the fear. That's when you know you've stepped into your power. That's when the rise begins. Don't wait for the world to validate you. Don't wait for applause or recognition or a green light. Give yourself the permission to become everything you were meant to be. Give yourself the grace to fail, the courage to try, the strength to stand alone. Because this journey, your rise, it's not about being seen, it's about being true. And truth isn't always pretty, but it's powerful. You won't get it right every time. You'll stumble. You'll fall, but you'll rise. More focused, more fierce. And every time you do, those two words, I can, become more than a phrase. They become your battle cry. There is no growth without pressure, no mastery without mistakes, no strength without the struggle. So stop resenting the hard days. They're shaping you. Stop wishing away the discomfort. It's forging you. Stop waiting for things to be easy. They won't be. But you will be stronger. You will rise anyway. You will push through. And when it hurts, when it scares you, when it feels impossible, that's when it matters the most. That's when it counts. That's when the real you shows up. Not the one they see. The one you know. The one who breathes fire and walks through hell without flinching. Everyone talks about success like it's a destination, but success is a decision. It's the decision to keep showing up when no one's watching, to keep saying I can when nothing around you is working. It's not about the outcome, it's about the commitment to your purpose, to your truth, to your fight. And that fight, it's not always external. Most of the time, it's the war within. The battle between who you were and who you're becoming, between comfort and greatness, between fear and freedom. And every time you choose I can, you're choosing to win that war. The fire you've walked through has not made you bitter, it's made you bold. There comes a point when you get tired of waiting for the apology that never comes, tired of hoping someone will come rescue you from the storm inside your mind. Tired of pretending you're okay while you're drowning in silence. And it's in that exact moment, the breaking point, you discover something sacred. No one is coming, not because you're not worthy, but because you were never meant to be saved. You were meant to rise, meant to stand on your own 2 feet, even if they're shaking, meant to walk through the fire and come out glowing. That's when the phoenix wakes up, when you stop looking out there and start searching within. You see, every time you looked outward for strength, you gave away your power. You thought love would heal you. You thought validation would complete you. You thought success would save you. But they were all illusions. None of it lasts, because true power is born in solitude, in that space where it's just you, your scars, and your decision to rise anyway. That's where warriors are forged. You become your own rescue mission. You stop begging for peace and start building it from the ground up, because you're not a victim of your story. You're the author. And this chapter, it's called Resurrection. The world will keep testing you over and over again, not to destroy you, but to wake you up, because inside you is a version of yourself that even you haven't met yet. A version that doesn't run from fear, but charges into it. A version that turns pain into purpose. That version doesn't need a savior. That version becomes one, not just for themselves, but for others watching in silence, hoping someone proves it's possible to rise from nothing. You can be that proof. You can be that fire, but it starts with one truth. The hero you've been waiting for is already in you. Sometimes we wait for signs. We wait for clarity. We wait for the perfect moment. But what if the storm you're in is the sign? What if the moment you feel most lost is the one calling you to lead yourself home? There is no map, no guarantees, no shortcut through the fire. There is only you and the choice to keep moving forward, even when you're scared. Especially when you're scared. Because courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to move anyway. That's what it means to rise. To take the ashes of what broke you and use them as fuel for your rebirth. Pain carves a space inside you. A space so deep it feels unbearable, but that space isn't empty. It's potential. It's the space where your greatness will live. And yes, it hurts like hell, but so does growth. So does evolution. You can't transform without shedding the parts of you that were never built to last. So, when you feel yourself falling apart, don't run. Let it happen. Let yourself crack open. That's where the light gets in. That's where your fire escapes. Because the goal isn't to stay the same. The goal is to rise, to evolve, to awaken the God within the chaos. No one tells you that healing feels like war, that becoming whole requires breaking first, that standing in your truth often means standing alone. But you were never meant to blend in, you were built to lead. And leaders are made in the shadows, not in the spotlight. They're made in moments no one claps for, in silent battles, behind closed doors, in the depths of despair. That's where your crown is forged, not in gold, but in grit. Not in praise, but in pain. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be real. And real means rising even when you're still bleeding. Don't underestimate yourself just because you're still hurting. Your pain does not disqualify you. It prepares you. Every scar you carry is proof that you survived something that tried to end you. That's not weakness. That's strength. That's power. So stop hiding your wounds like they're shameful. Wear them like armor. Let them remind you who you are. Let them remind you what you've already endured. Because if life couldn't break you then, it sure as hell won't now. You've got fire in your lungs, fury in your heart, and once you realize that, there's nothing you can't become. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not broken. You are in the middle of becoming. Becoming someone who doesn't flinch in the face of fear. Someone who doesn't crumble under pressure. Someone who rises, not despite their story, but because of it. So stop comparing your timeline to others. You are not here to move at their pace. You are here to rise in your own time, in your own way, with your own kind of fire. And when it happens, when that moment comes, and you finally roar back at the darkness, you'll understand. You were never lost. You were just becoming. You've spent so long doubting your power that you've forgotten how limitless you truly are. But make no mistake, it's still in you. It always was. It's in every breath you take after wanting to quit. It's in every time you've said, I can, through the tears. That's not just strength. That's rebellion. That's how legends are made. Not in ease, but in resistance. Not in peace, but in persistence. You don't need a stage to prove it. You don't need applause to believe it. You just need to remember who the hell you are. You're not here to be small. You're here to burn. The phoenix doesn't rise because it's perfect. It rises because it refuses to die. It rises because even in ashes, it remembers what it's made of. So should you. You've forgotten your power, but it hasn't forgotten you. It's been waiting. Waiting for you to stop shrinking. Waiting for you to stop apologizing for being intense, emotional, passionate. Those things aren't flaws. They're flames. And flames don't belong in cages. They belong in the sky, rising, wild and unapologetic. That's who you are. That's who you've always been. And now it's time the world sees it too. At some point, you'll realize that the world doesn't owe you anything. It's a hard truth to swallow, but a powerful one. Because when you stop waiting for permission to be great, that's when your power finally starts to flow. The world doesn't need your approval to allow you to chase your dreams. The truth is, you've been waiting for the wrong thing. You've been waiting for someone or something to validate your worth. But the reality is, no one is coming to hand you the keys to your greatness. You have to unlock that door yourself. And when you do, you'll understand that you are the key all along. The lies we tell ourselves can be the heaviest chains we wear. We convince ourselves that we're not ready, not enough, not worthy. But what if all those voices, those fears, are just distractions, holding you back from the power that's already within you? You have everything. You need to succeed, to rise, to become the person you've always dreamed of. You've just been too busy listening to the world's judgment and doubting your own ability. Now is the time to reclaim your narrative. Take control of your story. Stop letting the opinions of others drown out your inner voice, because when you listen to yourself, you hear the truth. And the truth is, you were born to soar. The moment you stop waiting for permission to be who you are is the moment your life will change forever. Too often, we wait for someone to tell us we're ready, to tell us we're good enough. But waiting is a trap. It keeps you stagnant. It keeps you small. It keeps you silent. You're not waiting for someone to give you a chance. You're waiting for yourself to give yourself a chance. The permission you've been seeking, the approval you've been craving, is already within you. It's time to stop doubting yourself and start believing in the strength that already exists inside you. You have everything you need right now to move forward. Don't wait for someone to tell you it's okay. Take action anyway. You were not put on this earth to blend in. You were made to stand out. And yes, that might make you uncomfortable at first. But comfort isn't what leads to greatness. Greatness is born when you step outside your comfort zone and challenge the limits you've placed on yourself. When you begin to live for you, not for the approval of others, you'll realize that you've been holding yourself back this entire time. There's no one else who can live your life but you. There's no one else who can follow your dreams, your vision, your passion. Stop playing small for the sake of others. Step into your greatness and take up the space you deserve. You are meant to shine. There's a misconception that you have to be perfect before you can take action, that you have to have everything figured out before you move forward. But that's simply not true. Perfection is an illusion, and action is the antidote. Waiting for the perfect moment only keeps you stuck in the cycle of inaction. It feeds your fear. It feeds your doubt. But when you choose to act, despite the uncertainty, despite the fear, you break free from the paralysis of perfectionism. You don't need all the answers. You just need the courage to take the next step. And that's what separates the dreamers from the doers. The ones who change the world are the ones who take action, no matter how messy or imperfect it may be. You don't need permission to be great. You don't need validation from others to chase your dreams. The only thing you need is the belief that you are worthy and capable. Every time you ask for permission, you give away your power. Every time you seek approval, you diminish your own value. It's time to stop waiting for someone else to recognize your potential. It's time to look in the mirror and see your worth. You've been waiting for the world to give you the green light, but it's already on. You are the one who decides when to move, when to rise, when to take that first step into the unknown. You are the authority of your own life. Own it. There will always be people who try to hold you back, people who don't understand your vision, people who try to convince you that your dreams are impossible. But their opinions don't matter. The only opinion that matters is yours. The only voice you need to listen to is the one inside your heart. You can't let others dictate your path. You can't let fear of judgment keep you from pursuing your dreams. If you want to be free, if you want to live the life you were born to live, you must stop seeking external validation and start trusting yourself. Trust your instincts. Trust your journey. Trust that you have what it takes to make it through any challenge that comes your way. You are capable of so much more than you realize. The power to change your life, to build your dreams, to become the person you've always wanted to be is already inside of you. But you've been waiting for the right moment, the right opportunity, the right sign. The truth is, there is no perfect moment. There is only now. The only time you can start is right now. Don't wait for the stars to align or for someone to hand you a blueprint for success. You have everything you need inside you. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is the decision to take action. So stop waiting for permission. Your time is now. Stop asking for permission to be who you are. Stop asking for permission to take up space, to be bold, to chase your dreams. You have everything you need to succeed, and it's time you believed it. You've been told your entire life that you need to wait, that you need to conform, that you need to follow the rules. But the rules were made by someone else. They don't apply to you. You were made to break boundaries, to create your own path. It's time to stop waiting for others to give you permission. It's time to start giving yourself permission to be exactly who you are without apology, without hesitation, without doubt. You were not born to live in the shadows of others. You were not born to be invisible, to stay quiet, to play small.